Well, hello there. We are the middle-aged barbarians. I'm Eddie,
I'm Eugene.
and today we're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about, dude?
I don't know. The producer told us to come by, but I really don't know what we're talking about today.
Oh, there's a ton of stuff we could talk about. Like politics. You know, those sort of concepts that are not inflammatory at all.
Oh.
Or,
Oh, look at that!
look at that. We have some nicely...
Don't show them.
Okay, so the producer has a very interesting thing that they would like to have us talk about. They would like us to compare or to classify the D&D classes to the system that are used for MOBAs. Are you familiar with MOBAs? Because as middle-aged barbarians, this is the sort of stuff that our children play most of the time, not us.
I mean, I think
You think?
a MOBA is like a multiplayer online battle arena. I think that's what MOBA stands for.
Okay, like what? Like League of Legends is one of them, I think.
League of Legends, there's something called, and I'm going to get crucified for this, Dota or DOTA.
2. I've heard somewhere that the number 2 is very important. I don't know why, but it's important for some reason.
Okay. Why?
Well,
What are they doing? Bro, are you serious? You need us to...
it's something to do, we guess. Well, us barbarians, we have to go to the Barbarian library, do a little bit of research, and we'll be right back with this. But see you in a little bit. Well, we're back.
All right. So our producer, once again, has asked us to kind of classify the basic D&D classes, like 11, 12 of them, into a MOBA archetype kind of deal. Like we mentioned, we're kind of old. We don't know what MOBA is, but fortunately we have internet access.
And children. Well, I have children that are age appropriate. Both of us have children that are age appropriate for
My kid doesn't play this, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's read a little bit and we will share with you what we have. What is a MOBA? I was right. High five. Woo. A MOBA, or Massive Online Battle Arena. All right, it says here that they have like 5 people versus 5 people. I think there's like certain towers or points that they have to defend, and everybody has a different type of character. And this is where the fun part comes for us.
They're like a party of adventurers in a way, I guess.
Maybe if your whole campaign was gathered about not letting the bad guys touch your base.
That sounds a little bit repetitive, but...
Okay. But the cool thing, and I think this is what gets a lot of people going, is usually these characters are special, they're unique, they have a certain fighting style or certain abilities. If I may, the first well-known MOBA was released, it says here in 2003. That doesn't seem like a long time ago, but that was 20 years ago, dude. Damn.
Yeah, we're old.
As a fan-made mod, short for modification, see, they know I'm old, so I won't know what mod is, for the game Warcraft 3, and this became known as Defense of the Ancients. That was that Dota, D-O-A, whatever.
Oh, that's why it has a... Yeah, I get ahead of you. That's why it has a 2, because when they made it extent...
They made a second one. I have heard of League of Legends. I know I have friends who spend a lot of time playing League of Legends. I never got into it. I mean, I was more into like Age of Empires, Age of Mythologies. I used to spend a lot of time doing the Pro Stock Mop and all that kind of stuff on Age.
I don't play video games. As
No
you're aware.
strategy? No strategy video
I
games?
play board games.
Command and Conquer, Red Alert,
Besides D&D, only board games for me, dude.
StarCraft, nothing?
Well, and the Dance Machine.
XCOM?
Dance Machine or nothing.
Okay. So, it says here that there are different assigned classes, like tank, bruiser, marksman, mage, I don't know. I recognize fighter, support, healer. And they all have their own skills and proficiencies.
But that seems a little broad, I guess, and that doesn't. I mean, for what I saw, yeah, they have like really specialized roles, but you can maybe set it up in 4 or 5 or three. Actually, 3 main ones, which, if I'm not mistaken, would be the guy that hits hard, the guy that's defense stuff.
He's laughing at us right now.
I
mean,
know.
you can't see him, you can't hear him, but he's back there laughing at us. And I know why he's doing this.
Why?
Because I'm always talking about 4th edition is better than this and better than that.
This is like 4th edition, isn't it?
I mean, maybe, yeah. I remember 4th edition, they used to have, it was the striker, it was the defender, it was the controller, and it was like the leader, which was kind of support utility kind of thing.
4 roles, yes.
How are we going to do that, though? I don't...
Well, first we have to set up like anything sort of categorizing, we have to establish the taxonomy, the specifics. How about we set up 3, 4? How many do you want to go with?
Oh, we could do maybe 3.
3 sounds good because we can be the hard-hitting one, the defensive one, and the guy that helps them. Which, in other words, would be the
striker or
the striker, which has been called something like the glass cannon, the one that's really good at hitting, but is really bad at defense and can only hit per se.
All right, we'll do a tank. I like the term tank.
Tank for the one that defends, but it's also kind of good at hitting. And utility, the one that does the weird stuff or the support or things that are besides combat, which would be the one that manipulates the terrain, that does unusual stuff on the service of the other 2 roles. That's where I think we could set up at.
Okay. All right, we'll do 3. Well, we got to figure out exactly what those 3 are. I mean, we have the names, we have the details, but like when you think, let's start with tank. I think tank would probably be the easiest.
Maybe.
I think of a tank, I think of like the big, heavy, ironclad, armor-wearing, shield-toting, freaking wall standing in the middle of the battlefield.
For sure. That has been probably enlarged or something weird made for him.
Only if he likes you.
Yes.
So we'll have to have like maybe, if you want to be a tank, then you'd have to have like high HP.
High defense.
You gotta soak in the hits.
A high armor class as well.
High armor class.
And be also able to hit or do stuff to prevent the enemies from passing by. Help a little bit of battlefield control if possible.
Well, actually, I remember like 4th edition, and I mean, maybe if any of you guys have ever played Army of Two, which was an awesome video game. I miss that. It was like a 2-person shooter, but it was more like a couch co-op kind of thing, where it was a lot more fun if you played with a guy or somebody next to you. You could play online, but it's not as fun. So then kind of like the whole point of that game was one of the characters would run out and just like take all the aggro. And then once everybody was focused, then you could reposition the other character. And the other player would move forward and you could flank and do kind of stuff like that. And I remember 4th edition had that. I remember there were a bunch of defenders that would do like, you would mark an enemy or you would throw down a challenge. And then, you'd have the goblin in front of you's attention. So then even if the little wimpy wizard was behind you, or I don't know.
They wouldn't get to him. Yeah, that's probably...
Because you had to focus him into you, and if you tried to move or go away or something, then you'd have an attack of opportunity or some kind of reaction to trip him up, or...
That sounds like we also need a little bit, speaking of the D&D system, a little bit of social skills for that. Maybe some sort of intimidation, persuasion. That would be also nice to have. Because even in combat, you can use those skills, can't you? I mean...
You could.
Yeah... I know for you it's theoretical, but for me it's a way of life.
Okay.
You can solve combat without.
All right, so we'll try to figure that out. How a tank would be. Hi, do not pass by me, please.
Well, it would be more of if you pass by me, I'll cut you in half. Would be.
Oh, that sounds a little better.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we have tanks.
We have tanks.
You said glass cannon.
Glass cannon, or the striker. You also said the hitter,
the damage dealer, the guy that's going to come up to you and just knock you out.
Yeah, but if you see him before you, he's dead.
Yeah. Actually, sorry to bring back all these video game references, but I mean that's kind of what we're doing. Like, have you ever played Dark Souls? Probably not. Demon Souls, any of the Souls games.
I've seen people play. I've seen you play.
Well, there's like a certain type of build for your character that the whole point is to reduce your life and have a little bit about a life, because then there's like rings and spells and stuff that
give you
bolster
bonuses.
your strength and your attacks and all that.
Oh,
So
that's why you
I've
do
heard that before.
That's why you see people running around in their underwear,
Yeah,
fighting. Oh, that makes sense now.
yeah.
I
That's why
thought it was some sort of.
you didn't know running around in your underwear makes you stronger?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
If any of you run around in your underwear to be stronger, make sure to not leave a comment, please. Don't do that. Sorry, I don't want to yuck your yum. I love that phrase, yuck your yum. All right, so sorry. Okay, so glass cannon, damage dealer. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the ability to constantly dish out high damage, with the risk, like you mentioned, of like not having
Enough defense for that.
defense or HP or anything. Like if you get hit, you're gonna feel it. So you got to be careful.
But I guess there's two ways of doing that, because you can either go focus for one target or focus to the whole a bunch of targets.
See, you mentioned that in fourth edition, best edition, had controllers, and they had like you say, like the one-on-one. I'm gonna deal a lot of damage to one target. But the cool thing was that the enemy design was also in that sort of world or sort of system. Because I remember there used to be like regular enemies, and then there used to be like a minion class of enemy. And then they were, let's say you're fighting a horde of skeletons. So maybe there's like the necromancer in the back, or there's one big skeleton that's like kind of leading them or bolstering them or whatever. But then you'd have another 9 that just had 1 hit point. So they weren't hard to get rid of. But if you were maybe a group of 2 fighters and a cleric, well, not a cleric would turn. But if you're just like 3 regular Joes, you'd have to take a turn to kill each one with 1 attack. But if your party had a wizard, then a wizard had a bunch of controller spells that would deal area damage and stuff.
So yeah, we have that dichotomy, so to speak, that division.
All right, so a striker can be a one-on-one or it can be a controller. They have to be able to deal high damage. They will probably have low AC, low HP, and be very squishy.
Yes, that, and also have some other abilities to compensate. Maybe for being able to take advantage, gain advantages in combat, they would probably have to be a little bit stealthy or have some sort of additional abilities for that. For them being able to hit hard at least once.
Well, yeah, I have a couple of things in mind, but we'll wait. So then what do we have left? We have tank, we have striker, DPR, we have, what do you say, support, utility?
Support, I would like to call it utility, because it I think it encompasses more things than just, well, I always think a little bit beside combat, although it's the main focus of the game, but utility, that would be the one that would be able to
Well, we mentioned bolstering, we mentioned buffing, debuffing, maybe healing.
Healing, that's a big one. Helping the other ones, a little bit of area control. Yeah, the division of 4th edition did make sense, but
I will convert each and every one of you, little by little, until we manage to play 4th edition on this channel.
And that seems rather...
That's right, evil producer. I said it. I don't care. Now you are obligated with them and us.
Well, all right. So the mission seems to be on point. What we're going to do next is we're going to do a little... put to use my graphic arts in training and do a little diagram to help us classify where we would put each class and work with that. We're going to... Probably a lot of them are going to be in between, so we'll see where it goes. Until then,
Well, yeah, as always, if you enjoyed the episode, if you have any comments, any questions, any suggestions, please leave them below in the comment area. Subscribe, like, and until next episode, well, rage responsibly.
yes, we have to rate responsibly.
It's our duty.
It's our duty. Yes.
All right, we'll see you guys next episode.
Roll the dice!